What if I told you TikTok is one of the best places to sell digital products, but most people are doing it wrong? Most people focus on getting views. And at the end of the day, views don't really matter. Most people focus on getting paid by the TikTok shop, the TikTok creativity fund, but I think that's short-sighted as well. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you exactly how you can use TikTok as a way to get buyers. So as a way to get buyers at all levels, people that are just finding out about you, people that have known about you for weeks, months, and years. And the best part about this is that you don't need 1 million followers. You can start this today from scratch, and I'm going to lay it all out on the line for you so that you can get started and you can start accumulating views quickly. But more importantly, you start converting those viewers into actual buyers. So I'm really excited about this. This is the exact method that I use in order to fill my workshop, in order to sell digital products. Like I said, you don't even have to have any followers to get up and running. I know a lot of people are going to say you need 1,000 followers to put a link, but we're going to talk about all of that. Before we get going, I want to show you something about TikTok. A lot of people believe that TikTok is for the young kids, for the young folks. But if we look at this, really important, TikTok had 3.19 billion visits in January. When you compare that to Instagram, Facebook, X, and Reddit, it's up there. That's a lot of people visiting. If you can look at my screen here, a lot of people visiting. They're spending a decent amount of time on the platform, and so it's a really good opportunity to meet anybody where they are. Oftentimes with YouTube, people know the problem and they know the solution, but over on TikTok, people oftentimes know the symptoms of a problem. For example, they know that they're living paycheck to paycheck, or they know that they struggle walking up the stairs, but they don't know the actual problem, and then they don't know the solution. So we can meet people where they are, which is a really good opportunity. So what we're going to do, like I said, is I want to lay this all out on the line for you to help you get up and running so that you can start selling your digital products. Okay. And so as you can see, we're going to do it all. Let's go ahead and talk about the bigger problem. The biggest problem with TikTok, in my opinion, is a lot of people are relying on the TikTok Creativity Fund and the TikTok Shop. With the TikTok Creativity Fund, it fluctuates. The RPMs and CPMs, are extremely low. And so you need hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views to be successful. But when you change your focus and you don't worry about the TikTok Shop, the TikTok Creativity Fund, you can make money with 200 views. If they're the right kind of people and you're meeting them where they are and you talk to them in the way that they understand, you don't need a bunch of views. And you can use this opportunity to make $200 a day, $300 a day, whatever it is your goal is, which I'm really excited about. Okay. And so we're going to lay this all out. One of the issues that I see when people try and sell their digital products through TikTok is they often talk too broadly. Okay. They are trying to focus on getting views and collecting people when they should be really trying to talk to a very narrow and specific group of people. Right. The other issue that I see is a lot of people are promoting products like they're the home shopping network. I don't know if you guys ever seen QVC or the home shopping network, where people will get on and they'll pull up a product and they'll say, this is the greatest product since sliced bread, buy this product. And they just kind of cycle through all these products, and people don't trust that type of salesmanship. Okay. People want to buy stuff. People love buying stuff. We as a world spend trillions of dollars every single day on stuff that we do and don't need. And so, if you understand that, people love buying stuff, they just don't want to be sold to. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this real quick. Okay. So step number one, what actually sells on TikTok? What sells? Everything sells, right? What actually sells? First thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is you want to make people aware. Okay. So we're doing awareness. I've got 3 types of content. I've got attention grabbing content. So we're grabbing people, a specific type of people. We're not just talking in generalities, and I'm going to give you exactly what we need to do when it comes to content creation. I also have conversion type content. So it's one thing to make people aware of you, But then the next step is to convert them. Convert them from just looky-loos or people that are just hanging out to get them to buy. And there's a specific type of content that we want to focus on in order to do that. And then we also want to use social proof. And social proof can be stories. It can be our story. It can be stories of our customers. It can be stories of people that have had success in our niche. And for this example, I'm just going to say like my niche. Obviously, you need to have a niche, and I'm going to assume you have one. But if you don't have a niche, it's going to be whoever you were 3 to 5 years ago. The problems that you solved for yourself 3 to 5 years ago, because chances are there's someone going through that exact same problem right now. And it's really simple. You can always look back. You can write down the problems and pain points and challenges and goals and dreams and desires that that you had 3 to 5 years ago. So my niche is going to be helping men in their 40s lose 20 plus pounds. Okay, so that's my target audience. That's who I want to help. That's who I am serving. And everything that I do is going to be in that frame. That's the lens that I'm going to look at. I'm going to ask myself, is my video helping men in their 40s lose 20 plus pounds? If it's not, I'm not going to make that video. If it is, I'm going to make that video. Okay, so really important. So again, when it comes to a high level, big picture on TikTok, we want to create content that creates awareness. So, get attention. We also, another really cool thing that we can do is we can use comments to create content, to create intent. And then we want to offer something, a very simple offer. Okay. One thing that you've got to really understand is TikTok is not the business. A lot of people make the mistake of putting all of their eggs in the TikTok basket. TikTok is how we get attention or traffic, right? And one thing that I like to help illustrate this so that it makes a lot of sense to you is right up the street we have Highway 94. It's one of the busiest highways in the world, right? Millions of people drive up and down this highway every single day. What we want to do is we want to create little digital billboards, right? That people can see from the highway. So like these are little cars. Let's say these are cars here. I'm not a great drawer, but these are little cars. And these cars are people, okay? These cars are people with problems. And what we want to do is we want to create little digital billboards that they can see. So this is TikTok. TikTok is our traffic source. And so as they're driving down the road, they can see our billboards, kind of like McDonald's. And what they might want to do is they see our billboard and they want to engage with it. And then they pull off. And then this actually will lead to our landing page and our sales page. And this is how we make money. Let me know if that makes sense. TikTok is how we get attention. Our videos are digital billboards, kind of like the McDonald's logo. And when people that are hungry, they see the McDonald's logo, they pull off. Oh yeah, I could eat McDonald's. They pull off, right? And they go spend money at McDonald's. We are McDonald's in this instance. Our videos are digital billboards where we're talking to our specific group of people. Now think about this for a second. When it comes to McDonald's, McDonald's serves a very specific type of food, and they cater to a very specific type of people. They don't cater to people that are on the paleo diet, or they don't cater to people that are vegan, right? They cater to people that want a hamburger and French fry, and they want it fast, right? So even with TikTok, you think, or even with McDonald's, you think that they serve everybody, but they don't. They don't have a vegan menu. They don't have a whole grass-fed diet menu, right? And so this is us, okay? Think about it that way. And our videos, and why you should create videos, is so that we can catch people at the right time. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this, okay? As you guys hopefully can see, I get really excited about these types of things. And I think it's such a cool opportunity, such a good opportunity for most people. So let's go ahead and get into step number one. Step number one is to pick the right product to promote. Pick the right product to promote. And here you want to pick a product that is between, I'm going to say $9 and $37. And the reason is most people that see you on TikTok are just seeing you for the first time. There is not a high level of know, like, and trust. And so it's very difficult to convert to sell a $200 product right away. But it's much easier to sell an impulse type product where they say, this person has identified a pain point that I have, and maybe they can solve it. I can take I can spend $9 and see if he solves my problem. And if I'm out of $9, no big deal, right? But what we want to do is we want to make sure that we pick a digital product that is small and solves a specific problem. We don't want to make this too big, right? We want to have, our digital product has one problem and one solution. And I'll give you a few examples based on my niche in just a second. So we want to do stuff like checklists, planners, templates, done for you stuff, do it yourself type stuff. For example, if I want to help men in their 40s lose 20 pounds or more, I might create something like I spelled checklist with checklist. I might create a 14-day fitness routine for men in their 40s who don't have a bunch of time, who only have an hour a day, or a walking schedule, or a 14-day meal planner. What's really important about our first digital product, our $9 digital product, is that it gives a result, fast results, right? We want results in hours or days, not weeks or months, because people can envision that. They can envision an hour, one thing that we could also do too is we could show men in their 40s how to properly lift, how to make sure they know the right weights for them. Because if they're just getting back to the gym for the first time, one of their fears might be that they pick the wrong weight and they look silly going to the gym if they haven't been there in a long time. The other thing that you can sell is if you've got products that you've created in the past, you can always just discount the price and sell products that you've created before. But make sure you can help people achieve a result in hours or days, not weeks or months. Okay, that's really important. Okay, so that's step number one. Step number two is we want to create content that attracts buyers. And this is really important. Step two, create content that attracts. And what we want to do is we want to create, I believe that we should create 3 types of content. Attention, and I'm going to go into detail for each one of these. Attention, convert, social proof. Social proof. Social proof. And let's go ahead and break down each one of those. So for attention, we want to piggyback off of what's already working. Okay, and there's a couple ways to do that. One way is to scroll on your For You page and find videos that are already in your niche. So there's a couple ways to get started. If you're starting off brand new, you just created a TikTok account today, you're going to go to TikTok, you're going to go to the search bar, and you're going to type in weight loss for men in their 40s. And you're going to start engaging with all of those videos that pop up. What we're doing is we're calibrating our algorithm in our For You page so that when we go to the For You page next, we can actually get videos for us to piggyback off of. So for attention, I'm going to say piggyback and I'm going to say viral. Okay. So now that we've engaged with our algorithm, we've kind of curated our For You page, close the app, open it back up. Okay. Once you close the app and open it back up, your For You page should have videos that are within your niche that have already done well, that maybe have gotten a lot of attention and engagement. And what we can do here for piggyback, what we can do here is we can make video replies on comments to show our authority. But what I really like to do is I like to video green screen. Okay, and just to kind of show you, hopefully this works, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about here, if I go to my TikTok account, let's go to my profile. This video is an example of a video green screen. Okay, so what I did is I found a video that did very well inside of what I want to talk about. It had a bunch of comments and likes and views and all that stuff here. I downloaded the video. I used a software to download the video. I took the first 5 to 7 seconds of the video because that hook has already been proven to work. And that's really important. One interesting thing about TikTok is TikTok wants to serve videos that already have worked. And the best way to show a video has worked is with the hook. I'm going to say hook. And so what I did for this one is I took the first 5 to 7 seconds and video screened the original video. And what I did is I had a negative hook. Everyone tells you what to do, but no one tells you how to do it. And so I let her talk for 5 to 7 seconds. And then I came in with my own hook that allowed me to talk for a minute about whatever it is that I wanted to talk about. As you can see here, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This video got 471,000 views. It has like 12,000 shares, 55,000 likes, 1,000 comments, and 44,000 saves. Anytime I do this, it works. Anytime I want to do it, it works, right? And so here we do the piggybacking method, video reply, or you can do video replies on comments. And what's really cool is when you do video replies on comments. So let's say I go back over here to the For You page and I wanted to hop in here and I make a video reply. My video reply shows up in the replies here. This person, Chrisley, if I was talking directly to her, she gets a notification that I made a reply. So she sees it, and then she's going to go back and look at my content and think, maybe his content resonates with me a little bit more. So you're kind of building a community whenever you do a video reply, because people don't expect to get responses and video replies. So you're showing your authority, you're showing your credibility. Also, what I like to do too, so when it comes to viral, I like to go to the homepage and I like to just kind of scroll TikTok. And what I'm looking for on TikTok is I'm looking for a common theme. If I see a video that shows up, if I see a theme show up 3 times in 10 minutes, that lets me know that I should create a video on that topic. So for example, this video right here is about, this guy does the Jubilee thing. I'm going to mute this. He does the Jubilee thing. Great. So that's one. This person is teaching how to my son a word of, so he's talking about an omelet. Okay, great. This person's talking about how to break out of 300 views. So I just keep scrolling through to look for a common theme. So I'm going to go one more. No. Okay, so let's assume that 3 videos popped up about UGC. I am going to make a video about UGC. I'm going to say something like, all the gurus are wrong about UGC. I'm sure you've heard a lot about UGC. You've heard about you've heard about all the success stories, but here's what they're not telling you about UGC. And when you do that, you'll get tossed into the algorithm and you'll be able to get more views. Okay. So that is the attention, but the convert is what's really important. Convert is where you're going to show your authority and your expertise. And we're going to do that by creating content about our target audience's pain points, goals, dreams, desires, and things they are thinking but afraid to say out loud. Okay? And the reason why this is really important is because we're speaking directly to them. I want people that watch my content say, damn, this guy really knows me. I feel like he is in my head right now. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to write down 5 or 10 different pain points, 5 or 10 each of these with respect to my niche of helping men in their 40s lose weight. So what's a pain point? Maybe having a recent health issue, a health scare. A pain point might be no longer just being able to do the things that they want to do without having to take a break. Their dream might be to walk their daughter down the aisle. Their dream might be to attend graduation. Their dream might be to help their kids move into college. Things that they're thinking but afraid to say out loud. They're probably afraid to try again because they failed in the past. They're probably afraid to go back to the gym and look like a fool amongst 20-year-olds. They're probably afraid of looking weak, right? They desire potentially to be desired by their significant other again. So you want to start writing down 5, 10, 15 of those, at least 5 of each. You can use AI to help you out with that. But what you're going to do is you're then going to take your pain points, you're going to take each one of these, and you're going to use it as a hook. So I'm going to put your content types as hooks. Okay? And then when it comes to your hooks, so when we're creating content, we want a hook, a story, and an offer or call to action. And this is something that Russell Brunson came up with. A hook is something that brings your target audience in, draws in audience, but it pushes everyone else away. So if you ever watch a TikTok video and someone said, hey, this is for all my girlies. This is for all my girly pops, my stay-at-home moms. They're talking to stay-at-home moms. They're not talking to me, right? Draws in audience, target audience, I should say. Draws in target audience. Oh my goodness. But it pushes everyone else away. Okay? Your story is the thing that pays off the hook. Pays off the hook. This can be like, 3 tips, 3 secrets, or it could be a personal story. And then your call to action is to invite them to take the next step, which is usually to buy our digital product. It can be to follow. It can be to share the video with a friend. And so when we're making our convert type content, we can say something like 63% of men, and what's really cool about TikTok, I don't think a lot of people know this, is you can take the same content idea and remix it 6 different times. We can create, let's say, like 6 different hooks to call out different people. So one thing that I like to do is I like to have 6 different variations of the front of my video, so a hook, but the main story is the exact same and the call to action might be different. And what I mean by that is we can use a statistic hook, stats. So we could say like 63% of men in their 40s are obese. That calls out, I think I spelled obese wrong. That calls out that talks to people that are numbers driven. There are different parts of the brain, different parts of the body that think about stuff. We can ask a question. We could say something like, or we could do an if-then statement. We could say, if-then. We could say something like, if you struggle to walk up the stairs, STA stairs, at work, then you might be obese. If then statement. Question. Do you struggle? Do you feel dizzy when you get up from the couch too fast? If yes, you're obese. We can do like 3 signs you're obese. Do you feel dizzy when you get up from the couch too fast? So I've got 3 right there. We can do, like I said, 6. But then the meat of our video, which is the story, we can say, here are 3 tips to get back in shape. Here are 3 tips to not be part of the 63%. Here are the 3 tips that you can implement today so that you no longer struggle to walk up the stairs. So the secrets all stay the same. It's just that we change the front end of it. So we can have 10 pain points, but we can remix those 10 pain points and give us, 600 different ideas, which is really cool. Okay. So we've got, I'm spending a lot of time on section 2, but this is really important. So we do hook. The story is going to be the solution that we provide, and then the call to action. And this is really important. So I'll give it a new page here. We'll just do one more. Actually, let's go back here. Call to action is going to invite them to take the next step. And so my favorite call to action are if then statements. If you're tired of overeating, if you're tired of having to take a break, if you're tired of feeling dizzy when you get up from the couch, then check out my workbook. It's a step-by-step guide on how to get back in the gym and lose 20 pounds based on my experience. Right? Like I said before, TikTok doesn't hate selling, it hates the pressure associated with it. And what we're doing in general is we're making people aware that we have a solution to their problem through content. Okay? And so what we're going to do here, the next step number 4, I really like if-then statements. You can do if-then-else statements, but if-then statements are really simple. If you're feeling this, then that. If you want more strategies on how to lose weight, if you're a man in your 40s, then follow me. If you want to restart your fitness journey, then share this video with a friend and get started together. If then is really simple, but it's really powerful. It doesn't require you to overthink and have to plan all of this out. Okay, so step number 4. Get people to your offer. And there's a couple ways to do it. If you have more than 1,000 followers, link in bio. If you have less than 1,000 followers, I think that's the right symbol. I always get them confused. If you have less than 1,000 followers, you can ask them to DM you for your offer, your template. And then when they DM you, you start a conversation. And the conversation is just you being a human, be a person. Talk about the problems that you went through, and then share the link with them and tell them, hey, you're going to have to copy and paste this. You're going to have to manually type it in, and people will convert. When I first started selling on TikTok, we weren't even allowed to put in links. And so people would leave the app and type in the link alstongodbolt.com, and people would buy from me. It works. Okay. I also used to put down here at the bottom my URL, but they said that it suppresses your views. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. But the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you add in a little bit of information in your caption and go from there. And then what I really want you to do is I want you to make sure that you are replying to every comment. If you can do video replies to every comment, even better. because it helps build a connection. Like I said, people don't expect influencers or content creators to respond to them, and when they do, they feel like a closer sense. The parasocial relationship gets stronger with them, and so it forms a stronger bond. Okay, so let's go ahead and quickly talk about a few common mistakes. I know this video is running a little bit long, 30 minutes. This video is running long, I know it, but there's such good information in here. You might have to watch this video a couple times. Common mistakes. Common mistakes. Not giving yourself enough time. That's the biggest one. Not having a call to action, expecting this to work overnight. I'm sure you've seen videos where people are saying you can make 10K in 90 days without knowledge, skills, and experience. That's a lie. Okay? Give yourself some grace and stay with it. Focus on one digital product, go all in, be committed to it, and focus, okay? Don't, if it doesn't work in a week, don't go back to TikTok and watch another video, or don't go back to YouTube and watch another video. Stay with it, okay? This works. This worked for me. This works for my clients. And I'm giving this to you for free. Pretty cool. All right. So comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I might try and make another video for you. I might answer your question over on TikTok and then link it back, just because it's usually a little bit easier that way. But yeah, follow this process. This process works. And remember, TikTok is a way that you get attention. Your videos are digital billboards that should lead to something that pays you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.